So I posted something on Facebook yesterday about relationships, and I was talking about how I didn't mind not being in a committed relationship or marriage ever. And so this lady gets on and she says, well, the Lord made it for man and woman to be together, so I'm sure Jesus will find you a partner. And I said, well, thank Buddha I'm not Christian, because I don't have that desire to be a part of a marriage or a relationship if you're telling me that this has something to do with religion. And she's like, well, I've been divorced and I really just don't see, even as much as I've been hurt, me being away from a man that long. And I said to her, I'm like, Miss Ma'am, if you have been beat, raped, molested by men, majority of your life, and men have always treated you bad from the time you can remember. I'm talking about from your fathers, your uncles, to everything. You won't be as attached to them. And that's the kind of person I am. I'm just not attached to men in that way. I'm not attached to women in that way. I'm just not attached to anything. And a lot of that has to do with me being Buddhist as well. Because in Buddhism, the main thing that they teach you is about detachment. The philosophy that I live is basically that I'm free from lusts, cravings, and desires. And I'm pretty much a non-materialistic person. Like, if it isn't a means for survival, I don't really need it. Like, if it's not water, food, shelter, and transportation, I don't need it. If it doesn't have anything to do with me staying alive or my health, I don't need it. And so a lot of people are like, how could you detach yourself from something of, that's so important? And, it's because I look at the world from the inside out, and I didn't get this way just because, spiritually and emotionally and mentally, I was in a different place. And when I desired being married and I was Christian and really, really believed that, that's the type of life I wanted to live, it did not work out for me. It did not work out for me. So I'm free of all of the things that society has basically threw upon us to make us worry about so many things that we shouldn't be worried about. And I noticed when I stop worrying about stuff, my life actually goes a lot smoother. Like, not giving a fuck about anything actually is a lot easier than me being worried about so many other things, and worried about what people think, and worried about what my husband is doing or what my boyfriend is doing, or getting married, or putting up this facade for other people. There's so many things that's happening in life in general that so many people are worried about, that stresses them to make them actually extremely uncomfortable with their life experience. And as I sit here and I get rid of all of that, I'm actually pretty cool. I try to stay neutral about a lot of things, and not being in a relationship, I just don't see the benefits. And so as I'm talking to this woman on Facebook, I actually was on YouTube at the same time, kind of going from tab to tab. And on this video called Calling All Black Men, the Hypocrisy is Real, I'm suggesting to good black men actually, to start making more positive YouTube videos. It doesn't matter the color of the person that you're with, but if you're a good man, start making more videos, because a lot of black women feel like there aren't any good men out there. And if more good men will make more videos, then more women would see more positive men in social media and on YouTube, and it would just help. Because right now on YouTube, it's more black men who claim they're good men, but they're bashing black women in the process. A good black man is not going to do all that. A lot of these black men that bash black women on YouTube, they have criminal records, they have illegitimate children, divorces, several baby mamas, living a lie. One of them has rape charges. It's so many things going on that has to do with these men on YouTube. I just wanted a lot more women to see something more positive, so I made a video encouraging good black men to actually post more positive videos. And so all I seen in the comment section were a whole bunch of bitter ass black men talking about, how they can't find anything positive to say about a black woman and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, this video isn't for you. This video is for good men who aren't single, who have good women, regardless to what color those women are. I just want more black women to see more good black men so they can know that good black men exist. But inside of the comment section was a whole bunch of bitter ass black men. So one black man says, well, what's the benefit? What's the incentive of being with a black woman? He was basically just implying that there's nothing. And I'm like, well, what's the incentive of a black woman dating a black man? Poverty, single motherhood, dick. I mean, these are the things that men have to offer. From what I'm noticing a little pattern here between the average men and the exceptional men. The exceptional men, you may have something more to offer a black woman or any woman of any race, but average men don't have really too much of anything to offer. So I don't see any point or benefit or incentive. And so I explained to him, well, I guess it depends upon the person, what they actually want in a man, whether it'll benefit them or not, because some women want very little. Some women want a lot. For me, I want simplicity and not something that is that complicated. Like, I want someone who is extremely honest, who I can be friends with. If I want to cuddle with them, I can cuddle with them. Companionship. I don't need all of the titles and the facades and and it might be different for other people who are looking to build a family, because I remember when I was younger, after my daughter, was born, I would meet guys and I would be interested in having families with them, but their minds would be on sex or money or whatever the case may be. So now that I'm 36, it's almost like, to me, that ship has sailed. Like, my desire to even want a family like that has left. I feel like if I want a family, I can go to a foster home. If I want to start a family, I can get a foster home, or I can adopt some kids if it's that serious. Like, because there's a lot of kids out here that's looking for parents. And there's a lot of parents out here that can't have kids that are looking for kids. So if I really wanted a family like that, I don't need to be married in order to have that, because if I'm financially in a good place, I can basically adopt as many kids as I want. So, I feel like I'm just detached from what society is usually attached to. So when people find out that I'm not interested in relationships or marriage anymore, they really don't get it. But then when I start explaining to them how I just don't fit in that criteria of a wife or a girlfriend or even a casual sex partner, like, I don't even want that. I'm good without that, and people are surprised about that as well. But I just try to encourage everybody that Buddhism actually taught me to not care so much about a lot of other stuff that a lot of people care about. And I guess it's a couple of steps towards nirvana, which is basically what most Buddhists are trying to accomplish. They're trying to get to a place of enlightenment to where they're completely happy all across the board. And for me, it's like, the more I don't care about stuff, the happier I get, the more nonchalant I get. And it actually bothers people because I seem so nonchalant sometimes. I care about certain things, but I look at things in a positive perspective. And the average thing that people will care about, I just don't care about. Like, I just don't need the fancy car. I just don't need the popularity and the fame. I just don't need the relationship or the marriage, because a lot of those things are tools that people use to impress other people, and I just really don't care what other people think, because to me, what other people think is not my business. It's up to them. I can't control their mind. They're going to think what they want to think regardless to how I behave. There's no level of perfection that can be made. There's nothing I could do. So I just have a non-detachment, and it's not a need for non-detachment. It's just there. To me, everything physical, my physical body is just temporary. And what I noticed about life as I continue to live it, that everything is temporary. Every situation is temporary. And so I try not to hold on to too much of anything. And that includes people, because people change and people go, people come and go as well. And I noticed that very young. And it used to break my heart where people would come and go. People would just come and go in and out my life. Not just men, just people in general, friends, everything, come and go, come and go, come and go. And it probably has a lot to do with me being inside of the entertainment industry, where I'm meeting so many people and I'm doing so many things. So I just don't really have any attachment to people or things.